Number 6, we're going to do the same thing. We're first going to condense it. So I have log base 3, and this addition is going to turn into multiplying. So I have x squared plus 5 times 7 minus 2x equals 3. At this point, now I'm going to change this up, and I'm going to write this in exponential form. Please make sure that all electronics, including earbuds, are completely put away. I do not want to see them. Our base is 3. We're going to raise it to a power of 3, and I'm going to set it equal to this quantity, x squared plus 5 times 7 minus 2x. Now, a lot of students, as they're rushing through this, say 3 to the third is 9. Remember, that's 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to FOIL out or distribute on the right-hand side. Multiplying the fronts, so that's the F, multiplying the outsides, multiplying the insides, and multiplying the last. Now I'm going to move the 27 to the same side, so I'm going to move it to the right-hand side. I'm going to subtract 27 from both sides, and so there's nothing left on the left-hand side. Now let's take a look at the right-hand side. I'm also going to write this in standard form. So negative 2x to the third plus 7x squared minus 10x, and the only two terms on the right I can combine would be a negative 27 and a positive 35, which equals positive 8. I don't know. Is it possible that I can solve this? Let's try. So let's first see, can I factor by grouping? I don't think it's going to work, but let me try. You're welcome just to watch right now. If I factor out an x squared, I'd have negative 2x plus 7. If I tried writing a negative 2x plus 7 over here, I would have to have a negative 5 in order to achieve a positive 5 in order to achieve a negative 10x. That doesn't work because 5 times 7 is not 8. So I know I cannot factor by grouping. So then I go back to my head. If I haven't made any mistakes, and I'll look at that in a second, I go back to thinking to myself, what can I break this into using synthetic division? So I know 1, 2, 4, and 8 divide into 8, and 1 and 2 divide into 2. Come back to the video if you're watching this. I've had students in my classroom right now. They've tested positive 1 and negative 1. They did not work. They've tested negative 2. It didn't work. And I'm having several students think that positive 2 works. So I'm going to test positive 2. I drop down the D mom. I drop down and multiply, add down and multiply, add down and multiply, and it does work. That means that 2 is an answer. So I come up here, I write 2, and I'm going to check it right away. So I go to the original. Remember, these just have to be positive. So 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. It works. Let's try over here. 2 times 2 is 4. 7 minus 4 is positive. It works. I know 2 works. Let's come back down here one more time. We have to turn this back into equation. This has no x, 1x, and 2 x's. And I need to know, does this equation produce real answers? So I could try using the quadratic, I could try to factor, but I don't think that's going to be factored, and I'll show you why. This gives you a positive 8, and this gives you a positive 3. When I'm thinking about 1 and 8 or 2 or 4, there's no way to end up with the 3. So at this time, I need everybody to use the quadratic formula to solve this. We need to see if the 2 remaining answers, so there's 3 roots. I know one of the 3 roots is real. Are the other 2 roots imaginary because they have eyes, or are the other 2 roots going to be real? We need to check that out. Here we go. X equals negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2 times a. I always start with the inside, and you're welcome to grab a calculator when we do that inside. So I have 3 squared, subtract 4 times negative 2 times negative 4. This is going to be what's called the discriminant. Here's my answer. Turn to your group. If this part right here equals a negative 23, what does that tell me about the 2 final answers? Turn to your group right now. It tells me the 2 final answers have to be imaginary. They have to be complex. We're going to have imaginary because we take the square root of a negative 23. We know that cannot produce a real number. So I'm looking for real solutions. I have one real solution. I've already tested it. The correct answer to number 6 is 2.